we on Save Cosmo team from our side, obviously we haven't let up on the movement. We don't want to let it go because we know how much it means for us and how much we really want this to make this a reality. But I just want to emphasize on something you said earlier. You said that when you stumbled upon my video and you watched it, it hit you like, and you thought, well, this is what I think as well about Cosmo and how unfair that ending was, how unfitting it was for Cosmo. And that's precisely how the vast majority of Cosmo fans actually got together. And we will talk about Save Cosmo later, of course, but I just wanted to emphasize because that's how it also happened for me. That's how I joined this community, you know?
I was thinking, am I the only fan of Cosmo? Like, here is Cosmo. Her character is very awesome. The story arc, the character, like, arc, the progression of her character, her relationship with Tails. I'm like, am I the only Sonic fan who's a fan of Cosmo, or who actually thinks Cosmo is cool, or she's a cool character? Like, I was thinking, I think I'm the only one, and then I watched your video, how Cosmo is important, and I'm like, yeah, that's the same shit I'm thinking. And then I watched hashtag Save Cosmo channel, like what's his name?
The leader of the movement?
Yeah, hashtag Save Cosmo, like the leader of the movement.
Yeah, hashtag Save Cosmo has its own channel, but the leader of the movement is the Mason Gamer.
Yeah. I saw his video, and I'm like, yeah. Like, I'm not alone in this one. I'm not the only Cosmo fan. So I'm shocked that I found out, like, and a lot of Sonic fans don't know who Cosmo is, sadly. I know a lot of Sonic fans in person. They're like, oh, who's that green girl? Like, who's that cabbage? Like, who is she? Like, who's that plant girl? And I'm like, dude, she's very awesome. She's an awesome character. You should go check out Sonic X.
Yeah, definitely. We on Save Cosmo team from our side, obviously we haven't let up on the movement in any way. Like, we don't want to let it go because we know how much it means for us and how much we really want this to make this a reality. But if someone wants to see Cosmo in a what Cosmo would look like in a Sonic game, you can already do that because people have actually made mods that add Cosmo in some of the Sonic games, and actually non-Sonic games as well. For example, there is a Cosmo mode in Don't Starve Together, I think it's called, the video game. What else? FNF also. But also Sonic Adventure 2, there is a Cosmo mode there. I think people are working on porting a Cosmo mod into some of the older games as well, the 2D platformers, which would be very cool as well. But I mean, already I was actually very surprised to see how much work people put in to to pretty much. They said, okay, if Sega is not gonna do it, we're gonna do it ourselves.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they said. Yeah.
I found out about hashtag Save Cosmo because of rewatching Sonic X, and I thought I was gonna forget about the character, and you guys came in clutch, and I'm like, holy shit, there's actually a community.
I stumbled upon Sonic X again, and I was like, wait a minute, I have seen this before. And it was only up until a few years ago that I rewatched actually the third season of Sonic X. And, when I first saw Cosmo, I thought to myself, wait a minute, this character looks like she was always part of the main cast, the main characters. Like, she fits so well with the rest of the team. So how come she's not, in the modern Sonic media? And of course, then I saw the ending, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's why. The impact that Sonic had on me personally, I can't even describe it with words. Like, I can definitely say it sent me to a whole new dimension. I wouldn't even say like the shadow realm,
Mm.
because that's not true. It sent me to a good dimension, not the shadow realm. The ending, especially, is so powerful with emotion, and this is why so many people bond with Cosmo as a character, and why our movement has been so vocal on getting her back. Now a lot more people know her, and a lot more people are gonna know about her in the future. So definitely, we haven't let down our hopes of of something happening in the future. Could be something that we are not expecting, because, like you said, those other characters from like Marvel that they
Yeah.
did with Spider-Man that you
Yeah.
said, nobody could expect that. Like, you would expect that these companies would grasp onto their characters as hard as they could. But no, you saw other companies take their characters and changing that up. And, under the right circumstances, anything can happen. So if anything, it's more than, we of course, you don't want to be delusional and think that,
Mm.
oh, tomorrow morning a Cosmo game is going to be released. No, no, we're not doing that. But also, we know that it is our duty, like I said earlier, to keep Cosmo up there and make her as well renowned as possible. And who
Mm.
knows, maybe we will change Sega's mind in the future.